Coming up next on WXEL TV, inspiring future musicians by giving them a taste of the tunes. We'll visit a Miami hotel that is the perfect weekend getaway, and we'll travel to the Aspen Food and Wine Fest to meet two of the hottest chefs in the country. This is South Florida Today. Hello and welcome to our show. I'm Tony May. Well, the kids are back in school and the homework is here. But this summer, some very special Palm Beach County youngsters got a chance to get away from the books and into a hands-on experience that brought music to their ears. Here's our community perspective.
I want to see the drums. I will take you to the drums as well.
Florida Atlantic University President Frank Brogan and his 3-year-old son Colby John got to go behind the scenes of this summer band camp.
Want to hear what a trumpet sounds like?
Say yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Me and Jose, we're going to play Merry We Roll Along. All right? You want to start from the beginning?
For the past few years, the FAU campus has played host to children from some of the poorest neighborhoods in Palm Beach County.
What I really wanted to do was just give them every opportunity a more privileged child would have, and this was one of those things. I also think band camp for all kids is a major experience in their lives, and we wanted to make that happen.
The camp idea grew out of a grant first given by the Pew Public Education Fund that brought instruments into Title I schools. Now each summer, FAU music students turn into teachers, inspiring kids who have never before walked on a college campus.
I am convinced that we're not just teaching them to read music and to write musically and to perform on an instrument. We're changing their lives. And I am convinced we're teaching them that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and music can actually help them to find that.
Many of the students here struggle with their grades and aren't too excited about the idea of going back to class. That's where creators of this program hope music can make a difference.
Really good.
I think the program has given the kids a real vision of hope for their future. They all talk about wanting to go to college now, and of course they all want to go to FAU, but the exposure they get here just creates this real vision of what life can be like for them down the line.
I watched music and art teachers over my time take children who couldn't read, who couldn't write, and who couldn't count in the traditional classroom setting and have them doing miracle work at the end of 1 year, not only in instruments, not only with pottery and with painting, but also in terms of the discipline that they took back to their traditional classroom. The arts have the incredible capacity to change an entire school culture.
Say nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
On this day, President Brogan watched as kids who had never held a horn before learned how to play the perfect note. And then it was his turn to conduct the entire orchestra.
This was my first chance to physically visit and see not only the boys and girls, but to see our graduate students at FAU in action, actually teaching them in group and in individual private lessons. It was my first chance to see the children perform in small group and then the advanced band. And all I can tell you, it surpasses my expectations wildly.
South grade elementary teacher Deborah Barron was one of the founders of this band camp. She says this week goes beyond music lessons.
It also just gives them a group to belong to when they do get to middle school. And belonging in a band in any middle school will keep kids safe. It keeps them on track and focused. And ideally, it would put them on the path towards college, where I would love all of my students to go.
3 years ago, elementary student Janae Harvey wrote an essay to get into camp after being inspired by what she saw.
You know how you watch TV and you listen to the radio and you hear music? I thought that music was a wonderful thing because you get to play awesome instruments and you get to hear the beautiful sound that it makes.
This 6th grader says what she learns here helps her cope.
It takes me to different places because, say, if we have a concert at school and we play music, I feel like I am just floating in the sky.
Is that a good feeling?
It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling.
At the end of the week, campers bring what they've learned to a very excited audience.
They've been practicing these songs for the past 5 days, and they probably don't feel that confident playing them yet. But for some reason, once they get on that stage, they become incredibly confident, and they rise to the occasion, and they play so well.
And while parents and friends enjoy the music, President Brogan believes the lessons learned will carry on well past this stage.
I think the message here is that any little boy or any little girl who wants to work hard, study hard, play by the rules, who's supported by their family and by their teachers at all levels, should have the opportunity to go on through higher education and beyond. And I think this gives them just a little slice of that opportunity.
FAU President Frank Brogan tells me he hopes to expand the program again to include more children next year.